Hey, all, it's time for another 5 on Friday. Got my questions and I'm ready to rock. Hope you guys are too. Let's go. All right, how's everybody doing? Are you guys ending strong this year? It is, what is it? It's the end of November. Like Thanksgiving is coming next week. So we've got that going on. We've got snow coming here in Cleveland at some point. We've already done our first snow event. Have you done your first snow event? If you have, shoot me a comment below. Tell me how it went. Ours went okay. You know, it was the first one. It wasn't a big deal. We didn't even get like 2 inches, so it wasn't so bad. What else is going on? What else is going on? So, other than that, you know, been busy just getting our fall cleanups done. How about you guys? Getting your leaves cleaned up, getting your final cleanups done. Unless you live in California, maybe, where you don't have to deal with all this stuff, snow and fall cleanups and things like that. But anyway, I've got my 5 questions here. I appreciate you. Look, ask questions for me in order for me to answer them. Ask the questions in the comments below. If you like my channel, subscribe, okay? I'd really love to give you content every week if I can. So, having said all that, let's get to it. All right, my first question comes from Blades of Grass Lawn Care. He said, I appreciate you taking time to share your knowledge with the lawn care community. Do you offer any end of the year Christmas bonus? And if so, how do you calculate it, or isn't one amount for all? So good question, Blades of Grass, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I do end of year bonuses depending on, there's various ways that I do them. There's been times when I've done bonus checks when we've had very good years and the profit was really well. So I don't have a way of calculating, I don't have a specific way of calculating my end of the year bonuses. I think that that's kind of a case-by-case situation per company. Now, having said that, there's a couple things when it comes to bonuses in general that I think are somewhat impactful, and let's just call them impact bonuses. So say a guy does a good job or a crew member does a good job for you out in the field and they're really crushing it. I think in like an impact bonus for somebody like that, I've done like gift cards, I've done Visa cards, you know, prepaid Visa cards, cards for restaurants, things like that. Sometimes I've also, what we do here is when somebody starts working here, we have them fill out a form and ask them what's their favorite food, what's your favorite restaurant, what's your favorite TV show, so that we know a little bit about them, and then sometimes we can get them a gift card for their favorite restaurant. So if they're doing a great job, we'll get them a gift card for their favorite restaurant. Here, take your significant other with you, because sometimes that helps too, so that you can kind of give that bonus not only to the person but to their family member, things like that. So as far as the end of the year bonuses, we do everything from giving a box of candy with a gift card inside of it, or checks. It really just depends. I also do an end of the year dinner for the crew. I like to take them out somewhere. Sometimes, like this year, we ended up going to a Mexican restaurant because that's what the guys chose. So we did that. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. I would suggest that you find what works best for you and the culture of your company and do that, you know. Anyway, thanks for the question, Blades of Grass. Appreciate it. Next question. John Boy's Lawn Service. What month or time of year do you go after commercial accounts, and how do you approach them? Great question, John Boy's Lawn Service. Let me ask you guys this. If I put together say a program on how to sell commercial maintenance, would that be something you'd be interested in? Because I've thought about doing that, and I think there's a lot of merit to it. Now, getting back to, let me know in the comments below. Getting back to John Boy Lawn Services question here. What's the best time of year? Generally, I mean, all year round is a good time to go after commercial contracts. But in my neck of the woods in the Cleveland market here, a lot of the property management companies start putting bids out like September, October. So I do a lot of bidding in those 2 months, September and October, and then I get a lot of answers like right about now. Like I've gotten answers in the last couple of days on some properties that I bid for next year already, whether they're going to go with us or not. So things are pretty pretty hot and heavy for September, October, even a little bit into November. Then in December, in the Cleveland market, it kind of dries up, and probably everywhere else because it gets, it gets snowy and it's the holidays and people check out and things like that. But I would suggest that you keep pushing through November and December, especially if you're trying to get into the commercial market, because that's when everybody's taking off. That's when everybody's taking a break. Oh, let's take a break. It's Thanksgiving. Let's take a break. It's Christmas time. And that's when I think pushing really helps. Another thing that you can do is go out and drop off some candy or some cookies or whatever you can at some property management companies. Look them up, check them out on the web. I've said this before. Go on the web and find your HOA member names. You can Google homeowners associations now, and a lot of them have their own websites. It's an ongoing process. The other thing is going out and doing some cold calling, which I've talked about plenty of times. That works. It works for me. Dropping off a card. Hey, I'm Steve with Southwest. Just want to let you know my company does the property down the street. Would you be interested in a proposal and a bid for your property? So the next big push is kind of, January, February, a little slow, then March and April get busy again for the commercial market. It kind of follows the same program, I'm sure, as residential. I would assume that it's similar for that. So I hope that answers your question, but I would say right about now, this time of year from September, October to now, which it's mid-November, to then hitting it up again in February, March, April. I've signed maintenance contracts in May, June, July, so it never really ends. You just have to keep on it. It's like stoking that fire, stoking the flames. Just keep on it, keep pushing it, and you'll get your contracts. You'll get some contracts. You just have to work really hard, get your name out there, get yourself out there, have a good reputation with your work. All right. Thanks, John Boys Lawn Service. All right, Randy Mitchell. I've injured myself, so the one-man show is over. No more me, myself, and I. So marketing is crucial for success. Do you utilize Instagram for marketing? Any advice is welcome. I want to talk about the first part of this question. The reason I decided to grow Southwest was because a long time ago, I was hurt on the job. It was me and my dad was running the company, and we only had a couple employees. And I fell and I broke my leg really bad. Like I was cleaning out a drain basin, and I slipped and broke my leg. I mean, like that. It snapped. I had to have surgery. Both tibia and fibula on my left leg were broken below the knee. The bone was like popping out. I was sitting there with, holding my leg up. Hey, my phone's ringing. It's New York. I don't think anybody in New York is really trying to call me at this point, so this is what I do. There you go. Anyway, so back to the story. So I really hurt myself bad. I was off my feet for basically 6 months that year. I had to kind of relearn how to walk. And at that point, our company lost a lot of money. Like we lost a ton of money that year, and we weren't making that much to begin with. And at that point I said, well, my father was having a hard time because I was like the key guy. Him and I were like the two key people. So he was doing a lot of the work. And then he was trying to get other people to fill in. I couldn't do anything. So that was the catalyst that made me decide in my head, it's time to take this company to another level and start letting other people run the show, so to speak. Hiring foremen, hiring managers. I decided to rethink the way I built the company, or the way we were going to build the company. My father wasn't on board. He wanted to do the work. That's it. That's all he really cared about. I wasn't even going to be a part of the company. I was just working here to make some extra money. But I got to the point where I saw the potential of this business and this industry, and I decided to make a shift after I broke my leg. I told him I'm going to get out of the field in 3 to 4 years, and that's exactly what happened. And I worked my way slowly, from 3 days a week in the field to 2 days a week in the field, finally to 1 day a week in the field, and most of the rest of the days were, office work, sales, trying to build and grow the business. So account management, customer relations, dealing with employees, trying to be more of an ops manager. So I worked my way out of that. So if you get injured, if you're a person show like Randy is here. If you get injured, it could really be devastating to your business. So that's why I talk about growth, because you need to grow so that you have other people that can take over if you do get hurt, God forbid. It's a tough thing, it really is, and I went through it. So I hope you kind of rethink what you're doing, Randy, and maybe think about delegating, getting other people to, and I don't know how many people, maybe you already have people working for you, and that's good, but you said you're a one-man show, so I think that kind of tells me that you probably need to rethink the way your business is running. To the Instagram part of it, for marketing, I do Instagram, I do Facebook, I do videos like this, but I haven't completely figured that part out yet, but I know that there's people that crush at doing that. So I would say check out Gary Vaynerchuk, his videos. He really is a master at Instagram and all of social media. You can get some great tidbits from him. I watch a lot of his stuff. So, I mean, he's a guy that you might want to take a look at for more advice on the Instagram thing. All right, Randy, thank you very much. Where are we at? We're at 3 here. I have two more questions. Where are we going to go from here? All right, Nathan Tucker asks, do you have H-2B visas and how many? Yes, we do use the H-2B workforce. We've gone back and forth on this, and I found it's the best option for my company. I use local people as well, and it's worked out very good for us. It's very difficult to find help, it really is. So we do use the H-2B program. I have about 8 guys that I bring up. Actually, they just left. So they come here and they work all summer and then they go back. We are seasonal here in Cleveland. So our business definitely gets a little bit smaller in the wintertime. And the next part of Nathan's question was, do you have over $1 million in snow contracts? No, we don't. We're not $1 million snow company. We're $1 million, company with our snow and with our landscaping, but we don't. We're a couple $100,000 in the snow department. I was never really into the whole snow thing, but it's a good business. So we're growing that slowly, but right now it's small. It was bigger a couple of years. I downsized my whole company. For those of you that don't know, I know I've said this 1,000 times already, but I've downsized everything, so that included my snow, and I'm rebuilding the snow as I go along. So thanks for the question, Nathan. And then I'm going to answer the final question, Robert Hamilton. How do you deal with animal waste in yards? That's part of our business, right? I mean, this whole, why do people let their dogs crap all over the place when they know that the landscaper's coming? I don't know. It depends on where it is. It depends on the property. It's case by case when we deal with this kind of stuff, because there are certain places. Now I can tell you this, there are certain management companies that tell us, hey, do not cut this person's lawn if there's dog waste in it, because we don't condone that. And so we want you to skip their lawn so that they get the message that, hey, the landscapers aren't going to take care of your property if you're letting your dog crap all over the place. So we don't take care of those lawns if it's a property manager that's telling us that. It helps get the point across. So there are cases like that. There's some backyards that are really bad at some of these associations. So, we'll take it case by case. Sometimes we'll go to the property manager or the board and say, hey, this one's a little out of control. Like, this person never cleans up their dog mess. So I would suggest that if you have an issue with this stuff, talk to the homeowner. If it's a residential, that's a little bit maybe easier because you can talk to the homeowner directly. If it's a commercial property, you kind of have to take your lumps and basically deal with it and talk to the property manager, talk to the board. So other than that, that's it, man. That's all 5 questions. I appreciate you watching my videos. If you guys ever need any help with your company's consulting, anything like that, me and my brother have been doing it for years, helping smaller landscape companies grow their businesses. Reach out to me. Shoot me something in the comments. Shoot me an email. Check us out on the web. We have a website, Rap Consulting. Check it out. Check it out. If you're interested at all, winter is a perfect time for that. So you can check that out whenever you want. Also, I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Take it easy.